Did you land your first job and need some help starting in an office setting? Are you making the transition from a student to a professional? Have you developed some not so good study habits and want to level up your performance? Then this video is for you. In today's video, we'll be sharing 5 tips on how to transform into a professional and level up your career in the working world. If you're new, hi, my name is Luki, and I create educational videos on jobs, careers, and life. If you're looking for some practical tips, advice, and life lessons, subscribe to stay up to date. And make sure you stay until the end to get all the tips to becoming a professional. This video would be helpful for students taking on leadership roles in a student club, those starting their first work experiences, and those looking to level up their professionalism. Now, the stereotype of a student is just that. More often than not, students exhibit many of the characteristics that I'll mention, or perhaps you'll already have evolved into a professional. We'll break up some of those characteristics into the soft skills: mindset, productivity, social, communication, and thinking. So let's jump into mindset. When it comes to mindset, students tend to be reactive and do as they're told. They attend and they meet expectations. I remember going to class and sitting at the very back, doing the minimum of what was asked. Now, professionals, they're proactive. They take ownership, they participate and contribute, and they look to exceed expectations. When you take ownership, you imagine that what you're doing is as if you're the owner of the company hired to do the work. You want to provide 5-star service so that the person on the other end can give you a 5-star review. Better yet, you want to go above and beyond so that they'll refer you to everybody they know and tell them how amazing of a job that you did. If you're a leader of a student club, don't just do whatever they did last year. Think more broadly on how you can provide an amazing experience for your members. If you're starting a new job, think beyond what you were told to do, and instead, think what would be above and beyond. If you're in a class or a meeting, plan to ask a question. If you didn't prepare a question, take a minute to summarize what was said before moving on, or recap the action items and who needs to do what by when. Take a mindset of ownership. When it comes to productivity, students tend to cram. I know I was guilty of waiting until the last moment on many of my assignments or exams. Students tend to be just on time or sometimes late. And for me, as a teacher, I find that students tend to show up a couple of minutes late, and there's so much so, it's called university time. And as a student, I know I sometimes had only minutes before the due date before I submitted my own assignments. Now, professionals, on the other hand, they iterate. They get started early. They seek feedback. Then they make improvements and ask for even more feedback. They understand that getting alignment sooner than later will help them accelerate the work and even produce higher quality work as well. Professionals are early, if not on time. They join meetings a few minutes early, they submit deliverables and work products before they're due. And a simple way to do this is to reverse engineer what's due. If you have an assignment or an event that's due, break it down into all the components that need to be done before. Give yourself a bit of a buffer in between each, and probably a little bit more, just in case you think it'll take a bit more time. And if it's done early, you can be seen to exceed those expectations. If you're struggling with starting out in the working world, write your challenges in the comments and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. When it comes to communication, students tend to assume, and professionals, they communicate and they validate. Just like with productivity, they confirm that they're on the right track. As a student with professional behaviors, you might reach out to your TA, your teacher's assistants, or your professors and ask questions, or perhaps just to your fellow classmates. Learning to communicate effectively is important to be able to validate your understanding. You can start with practice. After an interaction, ask yourself, what did I do well? What could I do better next time? During an interaction, you can practice your empathy and ask yourself, what is the other person saying? How does the context change that message? Or what isn't being said? And how can I confirm to validate my understanding? Before an interaction, you can practice anticipating. You can ask yourself, how has the person behaved in the past? What would they likely want to know, and how could I prepare? If you're a student leader, practice confirming your understanding at the end of an interaction. And if you're starting a new role, look to arrange regular one-on-one meetings with your managers to gauge your performance. When it comes to social skills, students tend to do it on their own. Even on group projects, students will often divide the assignments into separate parts, do their own part, then hope it makes sense when it's all put together. Professionals, on the other hand, they collaborate, they work together, and they align. They learn to develop their social skills instead of staying in their own individual bubble. They plan to take advantage of each other's strengths while overcoming weaknesses. They use the other skills of communication, productivity, and mindset to help engage in social interactions. Consider putting yourself in more social interactions. Don't just wait until you're given a group assignment. You can join student clubs as a member. Then when you feel ready to take on a leadership role, do so. In order to be better at social skills, you need to engage in social skills. If you're finding this video helpful, then why not join the Focus Inspired Academy, which is your gym for career confidence. Go deeper into these concepts and get group coaching for help. Check the link in the description box below for a free 1-month trial for supporting the channel. When it comes to thinking skills, students are learners. After all, they're in school to learn. Now, professionals, they're lifelong learners and engage in learning above and beyond their day-to-day. They engage in professional development activities. They self-study and learn on their own. They participate in their industry and domain community to learn from others and teach and mentor others as well. As a student leader, consider learning to learn. Learn memory techniques, note-taking skills, anything to level up your learning. As an emerging professional, learn what you need to do as well as its broader impact on the business. What are the upstream and downstream impacts of what you're doing? So, to become a professional, consider your mindset skills and take ownership. Your productivity skills and get done early, if not on time. Your social skills, learn to interact with each other. Your communication skills, be sure to communicate more than you think. And your thinking skills, and become a lifelong learner. I hope this has been an extremely insightful and helpful video. If it has, hit the like button and share with a friend. That would be much appreciated. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more tips on jobs, careers, and life. It would be great to have you part of the growing community of folks who want to unlock and live their career potential. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or connect with me on LinkedIn or DM me directly. Before you click off, if you'd like to learn about 5 areas you probably don't know you're wasting your time and money on, then click here. If you want to learn more about the MIT doctor who is now unemployed and why I resonated with this video, then click here. Until next time, be focused and stay inspired.